is there a different energy? And I'm assuming yes, but can you explain the energy difference between regular season hockey and fucking playoff hockey? Because I explain it all the time in football. There's difference between training camp speed to when you have a preseason game to when you go to the regular season and then playoffs. And each week in playoffs is like balls to the walls. There's no business decisions. Guys are literally trying to kill because there's no more games. Like, can you explain that energy?
The jump between the play in the regular season and the playoffs, it's so exponential. It's like a thing that I think is just baked into us. Like, it also becomes a performance. It's more life and death. The fans and everything gets baked into it. Playoff hockey, it's just a better game.
Yeah.
It's a sharper game. Everything, there's no, we play 82 games. So the first 20 of the season sometimes are a little bit sloppy.
Yeah.
Trying to work out your power play, penalty kill.
Which is like in our league, as of late, last 5-6 years, the first 4 games, because they've killed practice time in training camp,
right,
has become sloppy.
Right.
Very sloppy.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it.
And then Sean mentioned games 1 and 2. The Rangers took both of those 4-1 and 2-1.
Wow.
So then that brings us to game 3 here, a Sunday afternooner at the Garden, up 2-0 in the series. First period starts out trading goals. You guys, Devils came out flying around.
Wow, we lost. I didn't know they scored the first one. Then Dubinsky
they got on the board first.
Up.
Then Dubinsky tied it up 1-1 after
first. 1. And then we go on the power play of 5-on-3 in the second period.
Yep.
That was a second period goal.
Yep.
6:50 in.
6:50 in. That was the famous.
So that was after
moment.
I had done the thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Scoring the goal off the after
right,
that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So what's the thing? Take us beat for beat what the thing is.
All right. The thing is, here, this is perfect. The difference between the regular season and the playoffs. In the regular season, my job immediately was go to the front of the net and try and make number 30 go crazy. All right. And in doing that, sometimes I would take a penalty because, it's like a little bit looser and the stakes clearly are not as high, but you're in a different mindset. So now you're in game 3 of the first round. And during the regular season, normally I would go to the front of the net, and the traditional way to stand in front of the net is you stand facing your defenseman so that you can visually see the shots for tip-ins, because that's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
Guys have made their careers just being great net front guys, being able to have hand-eye and tip pucks in.
Yeah.
Dino Cicerelli was incredible. Thomas Holmstrom, who I played with in Detroit, one of the greatest ever. The problem was Brodeur was such an OG, this guy, 500 NHL wins, that when I did it in the playoffs, and I think probably in game 1, I went to the net, traditional, and I get jabbed in the back of the knee, poked in the back of the knee, but in the most perfect spot where when you're on skates, if you get poked in the back of the knee, you go ass over tea kettle. So he poked me and I fell into him. He sold it and I got a penalty. So now I just put
so he poked the bear.
Well, not only did he poke the bear, he beat the bear. He out-tricked the bear. He outsmarted the bear. The wise man knew what to do.
So you're like a little cub right now.
Yes.
You're a cub. You're not even a bear.
Right. And I'm like out of my element, and I go, holy fuck, because the stakes are high. I have to figure out how to not get penalized because I want to stay on the ice. I want to score. I want to be effective. So
the cub had to go to the penalty box, and is this where the cub became a bear?
Yeah, well, at this point, and this was the triggering effect, we get a 5-on-3, which a 5-on-3 power play in the playoffs, very rare. That means they have 2 penalties right now. 2 guys have to go off the ice. We have 5, they have 3. That's a big moment, right?
Have to score.
You have to score.
Have to score.
It's like do or die, and if you don't score on 5, special teams.
This is like
special teams, right?
This is Denver having a 36-yard kick to beat the Chiefs to win the game.
You got to hit it.
But what happens? The Chiefs blocked the fucking field goal.
Yeah.
They came up with the play.
What a block.
It's fucking crazy.
So we get the 5-on-3. Let me play this through because a lot happened on this play now that I'm seeing it. Because I'm looking at the time. What time was their second penalty taken? Can we find that out?
Yeah, let me take a look here.
Because that would trigger the 5-on-3. So I go, okay, holy shit. We're on a 5-on-3. It's game 3, Stanley Cup playoffs. We're in New York. We're up 2-0 in the series. I cannot take a penalty. Now, what people don't understand is that for me to go to the front of the net and turn around, it's not safe. Because
No, you can take a...
I got Yager and I got Shanahan on the points for one-timers. And when you're in a 5-on-3, the box gets condensed. So now, instead of them being 60 feet away, they're like 30 feet away. In our equipment, we don't have any padding in our backs because the game's always sort of played at the front. Like we go at guys and we take hits to the side. Like there's nothing in your back. So I go, okay, fuck it. I got to figure out a way to not take a penalty. But I also have in the back of my head, like if Yogs hits me with a one-timer in my back, he's going to break my back. Like he's going to fucking break my spine, but I don't want to take a penalty. So I got to figure, I go, these guys are two of the greatest shooters of all time, Shanahan and Yager at the points. I'm going to be fine. And I remember the moment when I got off the bench, because you can see it. I kind of come off the bench and we enter into the zone, and you can see me like going, just beelining it to the front of the net, which is where I'm supposed to be. And at some point from my skate from the bench to the goal, which is about, I don't know, probably 80 feet, I figured that this is what I was going to do. And like, I have it seared into my head what Brodeur, what he looked like, his eyes, what they were saying to me when I went in front of him. No one had ever seen this before, like ever. Like no one had done anything so stupid or weird.
Because it's crazy that you could take a puck to the back and maybe become paralyzed.
Kind of.
Because these things are fucking crazy. B, because etiquette.
Yeah.
How come people have never seen this? Sportsmanship.
Maybe.
So we're in playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoff energy, like we talked 10 minutes ago. We said, fuck sportsmanship. Fuck my life.
The garden.
Fuck my spine. We're in the garden.
Yep.
I cannot get fucking penalty points.
I can't,
or whatever it's called.
I can't
go in the box.
I can't go in the box.
So you sacrificed your life and sportsmanship for this fucking
We got to keep this 5-on-3, baby.
Yeah, I got to keep this 5-on-3. Because, ultimately, like, I want a goal.
Yes.
Because I am at war with this goalie. So if I can tie this whole thing together somehow and I can bury one on him, I got 2 on him in the series. And both times I scored on him, I reminded him immediately after. Like, they would throw a flag in football. They would go, oh,
taunting.
Take that. Yeah, taunting.
Yes.
I would go right to him and tell him terrible things about the shit that he's done off the ice and that I just fucking scored on you. Did you see that goal? You fucking
Clearly
shithead.
he didn't. He didn't get it.
Well, so it was war, right? And that's what happened.
There's no fair in love and war.
Yeah, there's
All's fair. Yeah, all's fair.
all's fair.
All's
in love
fair.
and war.
Oh, yeah. That's...
And by the way, he wanted me. They were trying to hurt me, and it was good. It was like perfect. It was the perfect storm. So what happens? I do the thing. I put my hand in front of his face, right? He moves one way, and I move the other way. And I think he thinks I'm only going to do it maybe like once, and I'm not going to really stick with the bit. But I stuck with it. So anytime he moved, and we had a couple of shots in the process, I have no idea what's going on. I can hear the shots being taken, so I'm sort of like trying to feel it. I'll lift my leg up or kind of move with Brodeur because he's trying to goalies have to try and find the puck, whether you're looking at them or away from them. That's part of their job. They got to track the puck. And a moment happens. It goes down to the back door to Scotty Gomez, who I'd played with all year. And I don't know, man. I just kind of like, I just stood there and I was already facing that direction. So I didn't need to do sort of a 180 to Scotty, who was in the corner with the puck. He could just, it was a direct line to me. And it's sort of how it played out. A direct line to me, who's already staring at Brodeur, like kind of doing this. And then that's it. I'm here and I get a pass and I bury it, a one-timer, and like the fucking place just went nuts. Like it went fucking nuts.
Yeah. What is Brodeur saying?
That, I was so, I didn't.
Did he have a name for you? What did he call you? Did he call you Sean?
He has broken English. So
Avery.
It's kind of, no, he almost didn't
Johnny.
really speak.
Yeah.
Like I got this guy so mad that he couldn't speak is basically the situation. Anytime we played them. And you can see, by the way, from that season series, we played them 8 times.
Yeah.
You guys, how many times do you play another team?
Twice in the division and then playoffs.
Imagine playing
them inside and out.
8 times.
8 times.
And we beat them 7 out of those 8 games. So like I was so far up this guy's ass that he wanted me dead. He would definitely, he would not have shed a tear if I fucking popped up on back page of the New York Post dead. He would be happy about that. It was fucking war. I scored, the place went crazy, and that was kind of where it was just all in the same thing. It was like the same minute. And
this idea came up on the 40 feet ice.
Yeah, however far it is from the bench to the goal line at MSG.
You didn't think about this on the bench? It just hit you right there.
I never thought about it once. And the funny thing was, Chris Drury, who's now the general manager of the New York Rangers, he's on the back door. So he's like back door on my right side, left side, whatever side. Depending on what side you're facing, he's back door. The ref's yelling at me in the corner. He's telling me to knock it off, more or less.
But there's no rule in this.
So I'm like saying to him, what, like we're talking, like you can see it. There's a conversation. I'm talking to the ref. He's like motherfucking me, telling me he's going to give me a penalty. I'm like, there's no fucking penalty. And then Drury comes from the back door. He skates over and he whispers into my ear while the play's happening, Aves, he's going to give you a penalty. And I kind of turn to Drew and I'm like, for what? And then at this point, Drew's like, yeah, no, I got to go back to my spot. And then that was it. It went to Gomer, to me, and I scored. And
now, did you go back? You went back to it the next?
Well, here's what happened. Oh, man. Dude. All right, there's a rule, okay? The NHLPA, which is our union. You have one.
Yeah.
NFLPA. Yeah. The NHLPA, which is our union, they have to approve any rule changes. They do it at the Board of Governors meeting in Palm Beach, Florida in the summer.
Yeah.
It's
owners meeting.
Yes. Like they propose new rules. They all vote on it.
Standard in all league procedures.
Right. I went out after the game. I didn't go home. I went out. I know exactly where I went. I went down to Tribeca. My buddy had a restaurant and I went out. And, I remember in the middle of the night waking up and I had to go to the bathroom and I was like, fuck, I had blood. I had a cut and my pillow was like covered in blood. And I had this thought about something. I could feel something happening. I wake up in the morning and I get into, the Rangers sent town cars for us. Like that's how we would get to the practice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Meetings, like literally a black town cars in front of your building. You just walk outside and they drive you to the rink. And Manny was the driver. And he had heard because he drove RGM.
Yeah.
He had already dropped off RGM. So I think there was a phone call long story short, they changed the rule overnight. Like they put an official release out. I think they thought it was dangerous for the game or something, or it was so radical that everyone was in agreement on both sides unofficially, maybe, although no one ever asked me. I never got a call. They changed the rule. The rule was changed that next day. So moving forward, like in the series and all the other series with the other teams playing for the Lord Stanley's Cup, the rule was changed. And no one ever told me why or how they did it. And like I said, I was moving way too fast and I wish I had fucking stopped and like said, hey, can somebody just kind of put something on paper here so I can frame it? Maybe like just kind of let's mark this thing. But no, I was in the middle of a series also.
Yeah.
We had to play game 4 and now we're in a series because they beat us in OT. So we're 2-1.
Now, how did the hockey world take this?
Dude, everyone hated me so much that I think like other teams and shit, everyone was just like, yeah, no, you got to make, there was nobody stood up and said, hey, you can't do this. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of a series and like, I had to figure out how to now not take a penalty again in game 4 with Brodeur because it wasn't going to stop.
Did any players from other teams text you or anything? Anyone text you?
Dude, 2008, was I on a sidekick?
That
Probably.
QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah.
Razor.
No,
2007 the iPhone came out.
All right. So I was on a first gen iPhone. Yeah. I don't know. No. Again, I can't even remember really. Like I remember where I went after the game that night.
Do you remember what the boys said to you on the bench afterwards?
I remember what Chris Drury said. I can still, Madison Square Garden's loud. And like to have a player come up beside you, your teammate, and whisper or sort of not whisper, but kind of like yell in your ear because he's got to get over. He's got to it's chaos.
Yeah.
Be like stopping in the middle of a play, a route, and having a conversation with a guy and then like finishing the route. I don't know. But we play a sport which is somewhat weird where we go really fast at times, but then at times we're all stopped.
Yeah.
Standing still, playing tic-tac-toe with a ball, with like a puck. It's interesting that way. But no, I can't remember what anybody said. Who knows?
Have you ever talked to Brodeur about it later?
I
like recently
Brodeur?
or whatever. What is his name? Brodeur.
Martin Brodeur.
Martin Brodeur.
I like this. It sounds like South Park almost.
Who, by the way, fun fact about Martin Brodeur, his dad was a world famous photographer for the Montreal Canadiens. Like he was the in-house photographer for the Forum in Montreal, which, I think Ali fought there. Like his dad was Canadian royalty. And his son now just played his first game as a goalie for the New Jersey Devils.
Wow.
Whoa.
Good eyes.
Full circle.
If one's a hockey goalie, one's a photographer, they got good eye.
Right. You're right.
They can see shit.
That's wild.
Probably eat the carrots.
Yeah.
Like a lot of carrots, vitamin A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for your eyes.
You got to make a comeback so you can score on his kid.
So, yeah, imagine.
That'd be tight.
Now we're talking full circle.
Little Nashy's going to go up in there.
There you go.
There it
Is
is.
little Nash like hockey?
Yeah, he does. I'm trying to keep him away from it for a little bit. He can play. Like, I started when I was 8.
Yeah.
But
you grew up around it.
Yeah, but we played
They don't do that here, though.
Right.
He's going to grow up in Laurel Canyon. You can't fucking put the skates on and go play backyard hockey on a hill.
No, there's too many hills. No, I know. I don't know. Yeah, he'll play. Wow, what is this? This is the aftermath?
Jackie, let's hear the aftermath
So to wrap
on
this-
the Avery Rule.
Wrap this thing up. There were 11 penalties in the second period. The Devils got 2 power play goals. Then Dubinsky tied it up again in the third. And then in OT, John Madden, boom, scored the game-winning goal.
Unassisted.
Ended up
Unassisted.
4-3.
Wow.
And the Devils took game 3. And then the Avery Rule came into effect, as we just spoke about.
Oh my God. I don't even remember
Rule
this.
75.1, the amendment.
No, but the WNBC TV cameras. So now I remember what that picture was from. Or there's like a video Holy shit, dude. My fucking brain just exploded. You know, you remember things like
Yeah, I get that all
you
the time.
didn't. Yeah.
Because it's people want to say because you probably played a contact sport.
Oh
you
yeah, my
forget.
CTE. Yeah,
But it's more about, I think, that you have so many other things going on in your life. It's like a processor. You get too much gigabytes, you forget about certain
also
things.
at this point when you're in the middle of a series, like, do
Yeah.
you remember what happened from game 1 of NFC to the Super Bowl final? Like the narrative and piecing all those.
It'd be more like, do I remember a play from a certain game? Because
Right.
you guys have so many games.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of times where I don't remember, but someone will come on and we'll talk about, and then it reunites something
Yes.
like you just exploded.
I just felt that.
Yeah.
It's a deja vu, but it's not. Okay, so the next day I went to practice. I had probably just found out an hour before when I got in the town car. I get to practice. All the fucking cameras are there. They're all like lined up because the NHL has issued an amendment to the unsportsmanlike conduct rule, which
Rule 75.
had probably an amendment. It's like that's like the Constitution. You amend the
Some founding fathers
Constitution
shit.
for fuck's sakes. It probably hadn't been changed in 70 years. Who knows? So the cameras are all there, and I come out, and the first thing I do, I skate up to camera row, and I just fucking flip them the bird. Like, I think with my glove on, actually, is the picture. Holy fuck, man. I was really out of control, clearly.
Man.
And I've never read it.
Well, there it is.
An unsportsmanlike conduct minor penalty will be interpreted and applied effective immediately to a situation. This is the amendment, by the way. That's a long amendment. To a situation when an offensive player positions himself facing the opposition goaltender and engages in actions such as waving his arms or stick in front of the goaltender's face for the purpose of improperly interfering with and or distracting the goaltender, as opposed to positioning himself to try and make a play, Colin Campbell, the NHL director of hockey operations, said in a statement. How the fuck did they write that overnight? That's like wild.
They got a lot of lawyers.
They had a team of dudes working
got
on
a
that
lot of
one.
lawyers.
Because that says a lot of different things, doesn't it? Basically, you can't like do anything in the goalie's face anymore, or
Well, what's distracting?
that's an amendment. I've never read that.
That is not an amendment. That is
That's
your amendment.
Holy fuck. For the purpose of improperly interfering with and or distracting the goaltender, as opposed to positioning himself to try and make a play. Oh, I see. You get it? Kinda?
Kind of. What do you see?
I see another loophole to a loophole somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I need some
What
time.
loophole are you are you pulled from?
There's a loophole somewhere. Now, is this the original one?
Now, if you get penalized, do you have like a little court right there with the ref, like with the loophole? How can you explain the loophole?
Well, what's interesting, and so this is 75.1.
Yeah.
Rule 75.1, unsportsmanlike conduct. This is the original one. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Players and non-playing club personnel are responsible for their conduct at all times and must endeavor to prevent disorderly conduct before, during, or after the game, on or off the ice, in any place in the rink. The referees may assess penalties. Okay, so that's just like a general thing. Like, you can't be an asshole, right?
Yeah.
There must be 75.2 and things like that, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, that breaks it down a little bit. Like, you can't yell at fans directly, maybe, things like that. That amendment's wild. That is unbelievable. Wow. Thank you for this.
How's it feel like to have the league move that quick for something you did?
Well, now is the first time, honestly, I swear to God, that I can kind of look at it and just put it all into like a box. Like I sort of see all of it. And when it happened, now I kind of feel and understand it. I mean, I was fucking out of control, clearly. That amendment is the wildest thing I've ever read.
Is it called an amendment, or are we just giving it the name amendment?
It said amendment.
It said amendment.
Did it say
Somewhere,
amendment?
right?
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah. The NHL issued an amendment.
Oh, there it is.
To the unsportsmanlike conduct rule to cover the situation.
Whatever happened to I'm just a bill?
Made it up to Capitol Hill.
Remember those things?
Yeah, bro.
Didn't even get to go to Capitol Hill. This thing got right there.
What is that? Executive order.
What is that? Executive order.
Executive order. Yeah, it was an executive
You got
order.
executive ordered.
Yes. You can write them and that's your day to just go. You just fucking let it rip.
Like Raj for our league,
Yeah.
the commish, there's a rule where he could, it's like basically he can do whatever he want rule.
Ooh.
What day?
What do you mean?
Or just anytime?
Anytime.
Veto.
You can't.
He has
the last veto.
Yeah.
On anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Or nobody can actually veto anything that he does. Right?
Kinda.
This is also puts this whole thing into perspective because, like, we went on to win the series. Am I?
No,
Can
keep
I
going.
say
Yeah, let it rip.
Then we lost quickly to Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby.
Kyler's team.
Yeah.
This was the start of their little run.
Their
They ended
run.
up losing to the Red Wings.
Fleury.
Yep.
Yeah.
Malkin.
Malkin. What a team. Max
Letang.
Talbot, Letang. Great team. Hal fucking Gill, the biggest defenseman I have ever played against in my life. Like, he was huge. He was a giant man on skates. And he gets the puck in the corner. Game 3. It was the first period. And I'm at the blue line. I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill Hal Gill. This is my time to kill Hal Gill. I go 100 miles an hour at Hal Gill and hit him dead square on. Like, I try and kill Hal Gill. Hal Gill stands there and I bounce off of him. And I'm like thinking to myself, I think I just tore my abdominal. Okay, I was dead. I thought I tore my abdominal. I went back to the bench. Rammer, our trainer, I said, I tore my abdominal. I need a Toradol shot in between periods. So we go in. He gives me a Toradol shot. And
So is this 2 on the day?
this second one, too quick to get a second one.
Yeah.
All right. We lose game 3. I assume. I don't even fucking know. I can't even remember finishing the game. I went into the cold tub after the game. And the moment I got into the cold tub, I felt like somebody stabbed me in my shoulder. And Doc Feldman, our team doctor, was 4 feet away and he saw it. And the moment he saw it, he was like, get your clothes on, get him dressed, and we got to go to the hospital. And they took me to the hospital in the back of a cab. I guess that is one of the referrals of a lacerated spleen.
Oh,
I lacerated my spleen on that hit that I thought I was going to kill.
Yeah.
Hal Gill actually almost killed me. And I spent 4 days in ICU of St. Vincent's, which is not even a hospital anymore. They tore it down, where a majority of the gays in New York during the AIDS crisis died in this hospital. It was a really like symbolic, like deep hospital. And I almost died in that hospital. So that was the end of the fucking season.
That was it.
Like that whole run. That's how hard it went. It was going so hard. And I almost died because I had this type of laceration that it was a squirting laceration. So
We got a squirter.
we had a squirter.
Yeah.
And they had to keep going in and trying to cauterize
Burn
it.
it. You got to burn it.
You got to burn it, but you can't. They
Go
could
too
only
far,
see it when it was squirting. So they had to keep going in like 4 or 5 times over 4 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
You know, the aftermath of the Avery Rule game. The hockey god said, hey, son.
Can I tell you one more funny story about that?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I was in the ICU still, and I had a friend, not even a romantic friend, a girl by the name of May Anderson, who was like a Danish supermodel. She was incredible. She is. May was awesome.
Yeah.
She was with another girlfriend of mine, Lauren Flynn. And Jim Dolan, who owns the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks.
Yeah, he won't let me into the stadium. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, I got Celtics courtside seats once, and he wouldn't let me go.
Well, he's got facial recognition now, so you're fucked.
So I fucked you on your
You
story.
and Charles Oakley, bro.
Yeah. Best owner in sports. I love playing for Dolan. Let me just get that straight right now. He
So you could go to the shit.
He came and visited me at the hospital.
Did he?
And May Anderson was sleeping in my hospital bed with me in it, just like, because there's no beds in there, and she's tiny. She's on the end of the bed, sort of like, I don't know. I'm almost dying, and Jim Dolan walked in, and that's the scene that he walked in on.
Wow.
Man.
Holy smokes.
Old Jimbo.
You guys really blew Jimbo. He had a laugh. Good sense of humor. It'd be like Kraft walking in. You gotta have a laugh.
You got it.
Lighten the
What
mood.
else do you
Lighten
do?
the mood.
Lighten the mood. Lighten the mood is right.
Jesus.